Hello, guys. Back again. I just want to say that Chicago is done. It's F up, alright? We had this new mayor, this newly elected mayor came out instead of going against his rioters. What did he do? He doubled down and defended the rioters, right? He said they were lacking opportunities for these people, right? So he doubled down and not realizing that the reason why it's like this is because there's no law and order. The police are scared of these kids, right? When you dig deep down into it, what is the sources of this? What are the root causes of this? The root causes of this are parenting, right? He didn't want to say anything bad about the parent because the parent got him into office, alright? Before he got elected, he was facing this other guy, Paul something, right? He was a white guy. He got more votes than him, right? How he won, how do Brandon Johnson won, is because Lori Lightfoot voters, are not willing to vote for the white Democrat, so he got the Lori Lightfoot voters to vote for him. That's how he won. When you compare it, he had fewer votes than the other guy before he was elected. So he won by taking the votes from Lori Lightfoot, and they went to him. And this is what you get. You reap what you sow, right? That is going to be even worse for Chicago. Chicago's not going to recover from this, right? This guy is a major... Man, he's just a major... Let me say, I don't want to say SJW, right? But he's not going to be good for Chicago. He's not. He's so deluded. He's not seeing the forest for the tree. He's not seeing what's in front of him. And he's not going to say all these stuff because his voter voted him in there. His voter got him into there. So if he were to go against his voters, if he were to say, "Oh, I'm for the police, I'm for law and order," his voters is going to lose votes. This is why he's like this. This is why he say, "Oh, we need more opportunity." Okay, how are you going to have opportunity when all business are leaving? When all business are leaving, what does that mean? When one business leaves a city, it means that you have fewer income, fewer revenue coming in, fewer taxes coming in from business. This business pay taxes into your city. Not only that, people are leaving your city as well. What does that mean? That means you're losing taxes for your city, meaning you're losing constituents. When you lose constituents for your city, that means funding from the state fundings is not going to go to your cities. You have fewer fundings. And he don't understand what is his consequences for his action. This is why I'm saying I have no hope for Chicago. Chicago is done. Not until they realize this. These liberals, they will not learn. They're not learning. They're so brainwashed. Right? It's ideological subversion. They're so set in their ideology. Change. They're not willing to change. They're not willing to compromise. They reap what they sow. So anything bad, they deserve it. They vote for it, they ask, and they shall receive. This is what they get. And in Chicago, I'm sure there are nice people in Chicago. If you were in your right mind, you would leave this city. Big time. Not only that, in New York City, right, Eric Adams are pushing what, meat out of the diet or limited meat consumptions, right? And you know what to say, the way to control people is through their food. Now he's controlling your food now. What does it matter what people eat? There's an ulterior motive here. Right? From New York, from Eric Adams. Right? Not only that, he's pushing robot dogs, right, into your city. You don't know what they're gonna do with this. This is why I'm saying all these Democratic cities are lost causes now. It's gonna turn into a dystopian nightmare. And these Democrats are not gonna learn. When they set in their ways, they're entrenched in it. They're done. They made up their mind. They will live by their decision and die by it. Alright? So I'm telling you, people in the right mind, people in mindset, independent people, you have to leave the city. There's no point of saving it. It's done. Sodom and Gomorrah. Is it important saving Sodom and Gomorrah? No. God destroyed it. And people never return back. Right? This city is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Elected by Democratic leaders who have no idea what they're doing, have no plans, no leadership, no agendas, right? They don't care about you. And you see the pattern here with all these leaders? They don't care about you. That's it. Instead of trying to get more police force, and not only that, they're demoralizing the police forces, hiring anybody that they can. Police that's out of weight. And like, do you think these people are capable of enforcing the law? Some of these police I see in Chicago, they look like they're out of shape. They don't look like they're in shape at all. And they look weak. So not only that, they're demoralizing the police, they're defunding the police, they're not giving the right resources, right? I'm not saying all cops are good cops, there are some bad ones out there. But they're supposed to be there to maintain orders, so none of these riots will happen again, right? Not only that, Democrat, you also could be a victim to violence as well. Violence does not care what party you are. Violence does not care whether you're a Republican or Democrat. Violence does not care whether you're conservative or liberal. Violence can attack anybody. Alright? When push comes to shove, you're going to be a victim as well to these violence, to these criminals. Alright? To these kids. These kids, where are the parents? The root cause of these parents is havoc is the parent. There's no parenting. I bet you these kids were raised by single mothers. Right? And he's not telling the parents to watch your kids. These kids don't care about curfews. Right? You can oppose all the curfew you want, bro. You can oppose all the curfew you want. If the police not enforcing the curfew, what good is a curfew? It's no good at all. Why would you don't enforce the law, but you enforce a curfew? That doesn't make any sense. You don't prosecute, right? They elected Kim Foxx for Chicago, and she didn't do nothing. These Soros attorneys, right? They're not gonna do nothing. No bail. There's a correlation that leads to this. Once they introduce bail reform, it's spiking crime. You don't have to be a genius to connect these dots. These people are so delusional. These Democratic mayors and officials, they're so delusional. They don't see anything. They're so blinded by what's coming in right now. They're so blinded, and they don't care for you. They don't. It's part of their agenda to destroy you, destroy the family, destroy society. And people are not seeing this. People are not understanding this. These people are causing all these crimes. They're not good citizens at all. There's no rehabilitating for these people. There's no way of saving it. You cannot save a reprobate. Right? These minds are done. Their mind are shot. Alright? These Democrats, their mind are shot. They have no critical thinking skill whatsoever. They can't think. They're too entrenched in their feelings and not using logic for once. Right? What does this mean for the city? It means that you're not gonna get people coming into your city. That means you're gonna lose revenue, right? All cities they attract tourists. If you're not attracting tourists, you're not making any money. You're not making any productivity. When there's no productivity, it's gonna lead to a collapse, right? And this guy Brian Johnson looked like a beta male, straight up. This guy, oh my God, I can't believe people are trusting him. Are you kidding me? Him and, what's his name? What is his name? Eric Adams? Letitia James? These are Soros' attorney. Alvin Bragg? These are George Soros. They don't see what's going. They're being played. They're being set up, and they have no clue what's going on right now. And the voters just keep voting for them, not realizing what these Democrats. They're so loyal to the party, right? They're so loyal to the party. They don't even realize that the party is setting them up for failure, right? This is why I said do not be loyal to party. If there's one thing good about Republicans is that they're not loyal. If their party failed them, they're not going to go back to the party. All right. I'm not saying Republicans any better than Democrats, but at least they know not to vote for the same thing twice. They're not insane, right? They don't vote the same failed policy over and over, like these cities in Chicago, Atlanta, Baltimore, New York, Detroit, all these failed policy are run by the same people in power, and they're not willing to change their ways, right? If they're not willing to change the ways, you already see the direction where the city is going. Move out of the city. It's not safe. This city is crime central. They're not enforcing the law. They're so appeasing the people's feelings. Sometimes you gotta be hard on people for them to learn. They cannot learn if you don't have any consequences, right? That's how people learn. If there's no consequence, they're not gonna learn from their mistakes. Pure and simple. And this guy Brian Johnson are not showing any kind of leadership. He's not looking out for all Chicagoans, whatever it is, right? He's not looking out for nobody. But on that note, guys, do you think that this guy is the right guy? You think Chicago's worth saving? Chicago's done. Brian Johnson, whatever name is, let's go. Brandon Johnson? Not Brian Johnson. Brandon Johnson, right? Let's go, Brandon. This guy's an idiot. There's no done saving it. There's no way. They had to make the bed. Now Chicago had to live in it. They made the bed. Now Chicago had to lay in it. I mean, that's what it is. They had to learn the hard way. For these people, for them to learn, they had to suffer. Chicago had to suffer to realize their mistakes. New York had to suffer to realize their mistakes. California had to suffer to realize their mistakes. And even though they're suffering, I don't think they're going to learn from their mistakes. They can suffer all year. They're going to suffer to their death, and they're still not going to learn from their mistake. All right? But let me know if you agree. Like the video, share the video, and I'll check you guys in the next episode. Peace.